So I wanted to start off with and just go into, like growing up and how it was, growing up in the in the household with J Master Jay as your dad, and how you and
Mhm.
Jesse like handled that, and what you guys even think when we were growing up.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it was normal for us. You know how he was. He was a
Yeah.
very down to earth, low key individual. So, it was pretty normal. Like we did normal stuff. The only thing that got weird at times and kind of as a kid made me realize that things were a little bit different for us is when he'd come pick us up from school, and other parents would be there too. They'd be freaking out, trying to take pictures, trying
Word.
to get autographs. So that's, or we'd go eat. Or even when all of us would go to Disney when we were kids. Remember that? And we'd get
Yeah,
to skip lines. We
exactly.
wouldn't have to wait in the lines. People would be beefing. People would be hot. And then that's when I'd be like, all right, things are a little bit different for us. But other than that, it was pretty normal in our household.
Yeah, for sure. No, exactly. That's what, like, even for me, like growing up and like knowing but not knowing, and then other people,
Yeah,
literally other people tell you, have to tell you because you just don't know. Like it's just normal. They're like,
exactly.
oh, that's Jay, that's D. Even now, people will see me with D, and they're like, "Yo, that's so cool." And I'm like, "Yeah,
This is my family.
but yeah." I'm like, "This is like fam, like that's regular." Like
Yeah,
I've been watching D and running your dad and all them forever, so I'm like, it's just what comes
yeah,
for sure.
exactly.
Then you DJ as well, just like your dad. So talk to me a
Mhm.
little bit about, that how you formed and came into having a passion for DJing, really.
Yeah. Like a crazy misconception is people always will be like, "Oh, I bet your dad taught you how to DJ. Like, I bet that's all you grew up with," and that wasn't even the case. Like he never had. I remember he had turntables in the crib one time, and I remember it because it was such an astonishing thing. I
Yeah.
was like, "What?" He had them set up in the garage, and I think they must have been going back on tour or something. So he was like getting his chops back up. He was practicing. But I didn't actually start DJing until I went to the Scratch DJ Academy. And that was with him when he opened it in 2001. It was like a year before he passed. And I went there. That was the first time I really like got a lesson. I was like, Grand Wizard Theodore was there. He was teaching me some stuff. And
Fire.
that's the first time I like really, really got into it. And then I think I remember YouTube started to like kind of pop off.
Yeah.
LimeWire, YouTube, all
Yeah,
that
around
crazy
that
stuff.
time, yeah.
Yeah, and I remember seeing Scratch Basta do this crazy routine in a battle, a DJ battle, and he took like these two songs and he did a crazy juggle routine, and and he made it sound like the Star Wars, the Darth Vader bum bum
Yeah, yeah,
bum
yeah, yeah.
bum bum bum, and I saw that, I was like, what? That's crazy, and then that kind of brought it all together. It was like the 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 style that my dad was doing with like this newer style that was evolving by people that were looking up to people like my dad.
Exactly.
They were kind of taking DJing a little bit further. And for me as a kid, I saw that and I was like, that's fire. So yeah, really Scratch put it together for me, Scratch DJ Academy. That's where I learned. I moved to New York about a few years after, I mean, like maybe almost, I want to say 10 years after my father passed. And I started interning there and kind of took it from there. It really became a passion for me. Before then, I was playing drums in bands. Like I
Yeah,
was always
exactly. When
involved
you
in
and
music.
Tika had the band. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, we had the band. Even before me and Tiga had the band, I remember your pops actually came. I was in like a real rock band, and him and DMC came, and we had like a practice in my friend's basement, and they came and pulled up. Yeah, that was hilarious because the look on the parents' faces when they saw DMC in their house, like
like, wait,
they're like,
huh?
"What?
Like,
In the
what?
middle of Virginia?" They're like, "What? This is crazy." Um, but yeah, so doing like making music as a kid, like actually making music in bands and growing up playing drums my whole life, DJing kind of put it all together for me as far as musicality goes, and I was able to really express myself through music in that form.
For sure. Now, how hard or easy, honestly, how hard or easy was it for you to establish your own identity, like outside of the, for all of us, like we have that Run DMC title,
Yeah.
that thing that's there, but like, how is it building your own identity and being TJ Mizell, not just, just the son of J Master J, how people usually start off?
Yeah, to be honest, I've never looked at it in any type of negative light ever. Not that that's what you're asking, but it's never been a negative thing for me. It's always been a positive thing, and it's actually been easy for me to kind of come up with my own name, just based off like genuine interest that I have. You know, like everybody, another misconception, people be like, yo, your pops is Jam Master Jay. I bet you're the classic hip hop god. I bet you know
Yeah,
everything every year. I'm like, nah, B, I don't know nothing
I'm an
about
EDM guy.
that. Yeah, like exactly. Like I grew up listening to rock, and that transformed into electronic dance music just based off of how music was going.
Exactly.
And that's where my passion lies, you know? So like I never felt the need to like really be like a hip hop god and like do this and like know all my shit, because I would just genuinely wasn't interested in it. So I didn't feel like I was sitting in a shadow. I felt like I already had my own lane based off my own interests, you know? And then but what's cool is what got to tie that to all together is like working with ASAP Ferg and being his DJ. Like I've kind of been able to understand like what my pops was seeing, and it ties us together, because like at one point it was like Ferg and Marty on stage
Right.
and me DJing, you
Like
know,
3 of y'all, yeah.
and it just felt, I would literally like find myself talking to myself in the middle of a set and just being like, damn, pops, like even talking to him like, damn, like this is what you were doing. Like we would even play at venues and we know the Run DMC sold out that venue because they'll have like a plaque in there. It'd be like Run DMC sold this out in '86. I'm like, damn, like
Super
we're
fire.
literally
Y'all are
playing
selling
the
out.
same venue, selling the same venue out, you know, and like things like that are cool. It brings it all together. But I never felt like I was ever in a shadow. If anything, I felt like I was like walking with him in a lot of ways, you know.
No, 100%, because I feel like you do a great job of just standing out as a DJ in general. You do a lot of outside the box things, routines and stuff.
Yeah.
And
Mm-hmm.
I want to talk about your routines, like a couple of them that you did to start. You and Clay, when you did took your car battery, you were on the train, then you had the joiner filling the air with scratch. Like, how did you guys like think of those ideas and like come up with those and just say like, yo, this is what we should do. This is that moment.
Yeah, honestly, Clay's a little marketing genius. You know that. Like
For sure.
we were trying to separate ourselves like early on and just think about what people weren't doing. And there was a point in time where content was really being, not, I wouldn't say abused, but content was really useful. Like there were all these platforms to show. There's YouTube was popping, you know, like Instagram just started becoming kind of popping. So there's all these platforms to put content on, but people weren't creating content. DJs weren't really creating like fire content yet, you know? So we had to think outside the box. So Clay was like, yo, why don't you just DJ outside? I was like, we can't. Like, where am I going to plug my shit to? Like, you know what I'm saying? He's like, I don't know. He's like, oh yeah, you're right. So then like, I'm thinking like, maybe he's like a generator. Like we use generator bet. I like to skateboard. So bring it up. And then ASAP was the popping thing at the time. This is right when Purple Swag and Pesos dropped.
For sure.
So we did like a remix to Purple Swag and Pesos, and I did like little cuts. It wasn't even anything that crazy because like my skills weren't up to par with like the greatest yet. But I knew that if I did some different shit, like do that shit outside, people are gonna notice it, you know, and like people will notice the production. So there was a few things that I was trying to showcase: the skateboarding, like using the generator, thinking outside the box, you know, and that's what really like kind of took what really took my brand off, because ASAP saw that because it was like getting put up on every blog, and like the radio was talking about it. They're like, yo, you guys see. For first, it was people didn't really know that the family was like getting back behind the Jam Master Jay thing. You know, like they didn't know that like I had moved back to New York, because I feel like the shit was kind of dormant, because but like the conversation about Jam Master Jay wasn't being had as much as it should have. So when I came back and started doing things like that, people would be like, oh, this kid's and it's Jam Master Jay's kid, like fire, like
and it just
amazing, like
emphasize that whole thing and like just put it all together. Like
exactly, it's just having more people talk about Jam Master Jay at the end of the day, you know, that was like it's interesting because we always had those conversations before, but like, how are we gonna get people to really start talking about him again and do this? But we didn't understand that like it would really do that. Every time I do anything, that's what people are going to think about, and it's a beautiful thing, you know?
No, 100%. So me and Jess talk pretty often, like regular, and we always thinking about ways, or I always hit him with ways like, how do we keep building like the JMJ name, incorporate dope roots, incorporate what I'm doing, like how do we keep building and like showcasing it, because that's what we come from, that's what we got. So
exactly,
you have to keep pushing it.
We gotta keep the
Other
ball
people,
rolling.
exactly. So other people don't forget.
Exactly.
100%.
Our generation, really.
Yeah, exactly. Because yeah, I feel like our generation tends to, they don't pay attention
Short,
to the,
short attention spans.
yeah,
Bro.
like it got to be right now, or they can't even wrap their minds around it if it's not right now, which is crazy.
Exactly.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
So actually, let's talk a little bit about Dope Roots and you and Jesse's company, and like what's
Mm-hmm.
the goal and your mission with Dope Roots.
So really, the goal and the mission of Dope Roots is really to, I feel like for us, it's so many things. Like even we have like a hard time like pinpointing exactly what Dope Roots is because it's an agency. You know,
Yeah.
like there's the agency part. There's the musicality part where we're dropping music as a label. You know, there's the DJ collective where it's like me and Taylor and Lenny and like we're DJing as a collective. You know, there's Clay as far as like making brand deals happen and doing shit with huge brands, and there's the event side, which has been like the most lucrative side for us, and it's been like with No Ends and bringing action sports into like music and just combining those two things. And those are like for Jesse and I, like action sports and music,
That's your thing. Yeah, I love
that's
it.
our thing. We love that, you know. So so even being able to have a company that allows us to play with these two realms and these worlds and bring worlds together, it's amazing. So for Dope Roots, like we're still pushing the line and like seeing exactly where we fall, but it's an umbrella of entertainment. I want to say like it's literally an umbrella of entertainment realms.
For sure.
Yeah.
So being a producer and an artist as well, like do you feel like, I had this conversation with Tiga like one time before, and we were just talking, and it's like how you guys balance like, you know, doing stuff for other artists,
Mm-hmm.
your artists as well, and you guys
Yeah.
on stuff, and like just finding that balance. How do you find that balance of like, all right, now this is me time versus like, I gotta go chase this bag.
Yeah, not for sure. So that's like, it's a great question, and it gets really confusing sometimes, you know, because you'll find yourself in a position where you're like, okay, well, I'm around all these guys, so like I should just like it's beneficial for
Right.
me to like do this stuff, even if it's
Right.
not the stuff that you want to do, or it's not. You're like, well, I'm stupid if I don't do this, so let's
Right, because I get the exposure to this, to that.
exactly. But then the more you do that, the more you seem to like lose vision of like your end goal, you know, because you're getting comfortable, you're getting checks, you're doing this, you're doing that, and
Life is
your end
good. So
goal,
you're like, why change the routine?
why change the routine? But you're realizing that like you're losing days as it goes by, and your end goal seems further and further and further away because you're not pushing towards that end goal. So in the past 2 years, like I've been trying to like really make a balance and treat things as they are, you know. So like if I'm on the road, I'm on the road, and I'll try to work while I'm on the road, but I try to stay focused while I'm on the road. Then as soon as I get off the road, I focus on my stuff, you know. So when's my music coming out, work on my music, work on releases, work on content, because at the same time, like I gotta keep my thing going as well, you know. And it's tough when you're working with like a bunch of people, because you get, this shit's amazing. Like I love working with artists and touring and all that, but you lose sight of like your end goal sometimes. So kind of just got to keep it balanced, and it's not easy. It's definitely hard for sure. I feel like that'd be like one of my main like speed bumps, is really just trying to keep my thing going.
Right, for sure. So now since we all been on quarantine and stuff, have you been like taking this time to really just zone in on you and just make your dreams happen as much as yours?
Kind of, but I just had a baby, V. So
Yeah.
you feel like I'm like that's been my everyday, my whole, like he just turned 3 months yesterday. So he was born on the 15th of February. And then so that was crazy. Like so from February 15th all the way to March 1st was just like staring at this like 2-week-old baby, you know. And then first week of March was Jesse and I's birthday, so we had a bunch of people come in town, so we were all celebrating that. And then right after Jesse's birthday, it literally shut down on March 12th, which is Jesse's birthday. That's when the NBA said that they weren't playing anymore. And that's when everything went crazy. Like, we were supposed to go out for Jesse's birthday that night, and Jesse ended up calling me like, yo, B, call it off. I'm not trying to go nowhere. Fuck this. This is scary.
Right.
You know?
Exactly.
So yeah, my day is literally like Co has been here the whole time. Quarantine's been going on. So I've just been, and honestly, like, we see it as a blessing. Like,
no, I was just about to say, like, how is that,
yeah,
like, being a dad and, like, you get to have that time where usually you're traveling and all over the place.
traveling
Now
and
you
doing
get
this.
to have, like, the time to really
Yeah.
be there.
I was supposed to start working last month. Like, my first show back on the calendar after Koa came was April 4th. And yeah, like, I haven't worked since, but I'm literally just excited to just be around this kid every day and get to see him. My mom lives across the street, so like, we kind of all quarantine together. I get to just like, we get to drop him off, and she gets to have her time with him. My grandmother has been here since the quarantine started, so she gets to hang out with him too. So it's been good.
That's fire, bro. It's very dope. So now, how did you meet? I know the story though, but how did you meet ASAP Ferg? What's the story of Ferg and how you met Ferg?
I met Ferg. I would always run into Ferg like here and there, but I never met him. But at the same time, like, they were popping is when I started like DJing a bunch of shit in the city. So I would see them at like clubs and like little parties and like little like warehouse shits and like brand like Adidas parties and shit. I would see them around when the whole Jeremy Scott shit was going crazy. I would see them, you know.
Yams
But,
was going crazy at that time. That's when Yams really was having them everywhere. They were out.
exactly.
Like just like Clay, like how Clay had you, bro. That's exactly how.
Yeah, literally, it was on the same time. So, so the Drake concert came around that time, and your pops actually hooked me up with those tickets. So honestly, like, at the end of the day, this is Big E helping out through coming through with the clutch moves. But
I remember that.
You remember that, right? So
that was a great show too.
That was great. It was the Nothing Was the Same tour, and we're backstage, of course, because we're rolling with you and your pop. So of course we're backstage, and we're in the green room, and Drake had brought out Rocky and Ferg and all them. So they're all back there in the green room too. And I had done that video, so they knew who I was. And they're like, oh, that's the dude who did the video, blah, blah. The video is fire, whatever.
Yeah.
And Ferg was talking to me, and then he introduced me to Ian Connor because Ian Connor skated. So Ferg was like, in the middle of like Ferg introducing me to Ian Connor, he like just looks at me, he's like, yo, you want to be my DJ? And I was like, definitely, like 100%. Like I play your records every time I DJ anyway. Like, might as well like do it with the artist, you know? So 2 months goes by, and he hits me up, and he's like, yo, you got a passport? Like, yeah. He's like, I got a show in Poland. Like, come out there with me. I was like, bet, you know? So since then, I was a rap, and I think that was 2013. It's like,
I think like
2013. Yeah. Since then, it's been history.
That's very fire. That's very dope.
Yeah. So shout out Eric Blam Sr. over there, the big J for blessing that.
That's a fact. But so how did you end up starting DJing for Pump? How did that go?
So the thing with Pump was Ferg's tour manager at the time had a bunch of different artists, and he ended up obtaining Pump. But the cool part about this is, I remember for me, just being a DJ, like, I feel like music discovery for me is like a huge thing. So I was always hip to the new kids that are popping up. So I actually like put them on to Pump. I was like, yo, you guys gotta peep this kid, whatever.
Right.
And then like 6 months later, he hits me up. He's like, yo, bro, you'll never believe who I just picked up as an artist. I'm like, and I'm literally, and he's like, Pump, whatever. We got through that. And then I'm snowboarding. It's March 2018. And I'm literally in the mountains, like on a board. It's around my birthday time. I'm pretty sure my birthday was the next day. And I'm in the woods, literally just smoked a joint with Jesse, and we're about to finish doing our ride. So we hopped into the woods real quick to smoke a joint, and my phone's going off. So I look at my phone, and it's Tone, and I know whenever it's Tone, is business. Like he don't call me for no, like unless we got a show or some shit. That's the only time he's like, yo, B, I need to get on a flight. So I'm like, oh shit, this is business. Picked it up. He's like, yo, B, where are you? I'm like, I'm actually in the middle of the woods in Colorado somewhere. I'm snowboarding. He's like, can you get to Cancun tonight? Lil Pump needs a DJ. And I'm like, I can't get there tonight, but I can get there tomorrow morning. He's like, bet. Literally put me on a flight. I literally got off the mountain, drove to Denver, got on a plane, flew to Cancun, and did my first show at Pump. And since then, Taylor and I have been like going back and forth with DJing for Pump, and that's been dope.
No, that's very dope. That's a dope story. That's crazy. Y'all were snowboarding. That's dope. That's fine. That's actually fire.
Yeah,
That's
crazy. And it was my birthday too, so the next day I was in Cancun for my birthday. I was like, if anything,
hey, that's super fire.
I was like, if anything, like, it's a cool little birthday gift. Cool.
Yeah, exactly. That was very dope. That was like a birthday gift from the gods, from the heavens. They threw that super.
Exactly.
That's very fire. So now DJing for Pump and Ferg, what's the best show experience you've had? Who's it with? Ferg or Pump? Like as far as like I'd react.
I've just had way more shows with Ferg, you know, like and in way more places. Like that's my road dog. We've been doing this shit for 7 years now. Like, and saying it, like Pump and I have like great chemistry as well. And Pump shows are wild, you know. Like
I watched them on YouTube.
He's a kid, you know. So like his whole fan base is just so much energy, bro, and he does not give a fuck. So like his show is like really crazy. Like he will fuck shit up. Whereas in Ferg is way more composed and like more of like a professional performer.
Yeah.
Where Pump's like a rock star type. So they're two totally different acts. But yeah, both artists, crazy shows. My favorite show though, every time we go to Australia, it's always amazing for sure. But I would say like highlight,
crazy.
Yeah, I would say highlight had to be New Year's Eve, Madison Square Garden. It was like a festival in Madison Square Garden with Skrillex, Diplo. Ferg performed and brought out the whole mob. Rocky,
crazy,
Nas, like it was crazy. And we were out there in like suits, tuxes because it was New Year's, so it was, and it was in the Garden, like so it was crazy. That was probably like my all time high right there.
Very fun. Now, one thing I want to touch on, because I think when I first hit you up about doing it, it was like around Mother's Day, doing this Contained Convos.
Hold up. Gov Ball, my favorite show. Babe, what year is that? Gov Ball, 2019, 2018? Yeah, that show's 2018. 2018 Gov Ball, New York City. ASAP Ferg, main stage. Crazy because
you know what? I seen like a Revolt interview that you did like right after or something like that. You were talking about
that shit just because it was hometown, and when I say like we crushed that show, I mean like it was flawless. Like every hit, bang, like everything was just moving, and we had that energy, and we just had the what's the word I'm looking for? We just had so much. We were just so strong with it because we were at home. We were in New York, and we knew we were performing for, like when you're performing all over the world, like you know that the only people that you know here are the 4 people that you came here with.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You don't know anybody else. But when like you look to the right and there's on stage, there's 100 people to the right, you know all of them. And you know that, like, in the crowd, there's at least 500 people that you know in the crowd.
Right,
you're
exactly.
like, these are the homies. So, like, you have the different type of comfort.
Yeah,
and the different type of way you bring the energy, you know. Yeah. But what are you saying about the Mother's Day?
What I was saying, though, I wanted to talk to you about this because, I mean, your mom and my mom both alike are, like, super strong women and everything. So I wanted to sort of highlight your mom and just have you talk about how she was just growing up and handling when your dad passed and just how she's just been there as a support system.
Yeah. Superwoman. Like if they made a movie about Superwoman, another one, she's definitely the one. You know, like
for sure.
She's a super strong woman. So much love, so much like value just comes from a family as well. Just love women. Like there weren't really too many men for generations in our family, you know, so bred of just strong women. And yeah, when Pops passed, like she really handled that amazingly. You know, like we lived in New York for, I think, for the rest of the year. He passed in like 2002 in October, so we like did the rest of the year in New York, and then we moved out to Virginia, and that was like the best thing she could have done for us. You know, she got us out of New York, out of the scene, and like moved us to a place where people didn't really know or care. You know, we got to live very normal lives, and she held it down as a single mom. Like the older I get, the more I realize, like, damn, like especially with having a kid, I'm just like, wow, like you sacrificed your whole life. And what's really bugged out is like, as I get older, I understand that like people are all on their own journeys, you know, like no matter what, like you're, as a kid, we look at our parents and we're like, no, like your one job is to take, like your job is to take care of me. Like that's what you're here for. But as you get older, you realize you're like, damn, like that's a person too. They have their own goals. They have their own journey that they, but at the same time, they choose to be there for us for every single beck and call, whatever we need, whatever it is. Like they put their whole life on the line for us. And like my mom did that for Jesse and I for her whole damn life. You know what I'm saying? Like her whole early life, you know? And since she was 21 up until 10 years ago, you know what I'm saying?
Exactly. So like everybody was out the spot. Exactly.
So yeah, for her, like she's just, I honestly hope that I'm like half the person that she is, like growing up, you know?
No, 100%. Exactly. That's like, I think recently I've been like having, not really just recently, but like recently I've been thinking about it a lot since we've been on like quarantine. Like, damn, like you're exactly how you said, like our parents have their whole own life. Like there's this whole own thing. And then like I was just thinking, I'm like, wow, like when you think about like, when we moved out here, my parents, and I was thinking about how old they were. And I'm like I'm only a couple years shy of that now at this point. It's like think you got to think about how much pressure and all the stuff that they had to do. It's crazy.
Crazy, bro. So crazy.
Makes you appreciate it even more because you're like, dad, like right now, I couldn't, like, even now with like you having a kid and Erica having a kid, I'm like, yeah, I'm definitely not ready for a kid at all. Like I need a minute. Like it's a super.
No, yeah, you got some time, dude. You got some time.
I'm glad y'all did it. So now I'm just like, I get to be like,
exactly. You can come babysit. You go babysit. Yeah, whenever you need to, just go, all right, I'm done.
Exactly.
Here you go.
Here you go. It was great. Appreciate it. Got the baby fever knocked out. Let's do it.
Yeah.
No, 100%. And then last question, not really a question though, but really, how does it feel to have a mural as like literally you're a living legend? You have your own mural in Soho by Vils. Like that's
I'm still working for that shit. I still don't feel like I deserve that shit. I feel like after I do a few more things, I'll be like, all right, bet, like cool. Like I earned it. But that was honestly such a blessing for Vils to do that. Like I'm such a fan of his art, so it's just an honor and a blessing for him to do that. Yeah, shout out to Hennessy. Like they put that together, and it's honestly just every time I see it, I look at it, I'm astonished, and I forget that it's real sometimes. You know, people like send me pictures, like, "Oh, I just saw you
every time." Yeah,
in LES. I'm just like, damn, that's so amazing, bro. Like,
it is crazy.
I'm still wrapping my head around it. You know, I'm still wrapping my head around it. I'm just happy that, like, all my homies are like, yo, at least you didn't have to die from me. Put your face on the wall. Like,
no, exactly. No, because especially now, culture right now, like so many people dying and we're losing so many people. It's like it's crazy you have one and you can do it and enjoy it. It's like getting your flowers, getting all your flowers, and you can really actually enjoy them for your entire career.
Exactly. Yeah. So I'm still working on that mural. I'm still for me mentally, I know it's there, and then that's just drilled into the wall. So it's not even a painting. Like that shit will forever be there.
That's right there, and it's staying
until they take the building down.
Right.
But like that makes me feel good too, because if I feel like I have time to fill the shoes of that mural.
Dope. So one last thing, what's like a good story that fans or nobody would know about you and your dad, like from back in the days when we were on tour? I remember we were on tour one time. I think it was maybe their last tour, I think, and we all were like on it with them. And then that's when we were all in the back playing Madden and everything on the game. And
Oh, was that that was the Aerosmith joint?
I want to say, yeah, I think that was that one.
Yeah, with Kid Rock and Uncle Cracker and yeah.
That
I
was,
remember that was sick. That was the last tour I ever saw him perform at, actually.
yeah.
That was the last time I see my dad perform. I would say best tour stories. I'll probably say like Europe, like a long time ago.
Yeah, because you guys did a Europe tour. I was like a newborn, but
Yeah, you were a babe because how much younger are you from Jesse?
2 years, 2.5, I think.
Yeah, so you were like months old, maybe like weeks old. You know, like what year are you born?
96.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, you were like just maybe not even a year yet. So yeah, we went out there to Europe, and we were out there with like JoJo, Diggy, and we were just doing like at every show. And I remember Chris Classic.
Yeah. Oh, snap! Crazy. Yeah, I ain't seen him in a minute.
But yeah, he helped us write rhymes. So it was like me and JoJo like would go on stage and rap, literally at the Run DMC show.
Very fire.
And Jesse and Diggy did it too, but Jesse and Diggy, they were babies.
Yeah.
So they did the DMX shit. They'd be like, "Where my dogs at?" And like or some shit would be like, "They right here, dog." And they were like babies, so that's all they had to do, and the crowd would go crazy.
Right.
You know. But yeah, even like it was crazy. I feel like I still even remember their raps, which is wild because that was so long ago. You know. But yeah, I feel like I still remember that. Jesse got the chicken pox on that tour. Like, it was just crazy. It's bananas.
Very fire. I greatly appreciate you for doing this, bro. Definitely, man.
Of course, bro. Of course. This is like an amazing conversation just having with the family. Honestly, that's how it felt for me.